Good morning, beautiful, beautiful people. What a beautiful morning it was. It still is. What a beautiful day it will be. Is. In my today's meditation, the morning one that I just did, appreciating people. Such a joy, such a pleasure, such freedom in appreciating people. Just being happy for them, doing good for them. And good for them may mean just a nice word, just a nice good morning, just a nice good day with real meaning, that we really mean it for them. And I was feeling this in my meditation, how I mean it and how I'm happy to see them, to go to them like a little child, to go to them and to share joy, to express my appreciation that they are there, that they are who they are. Giving is receiving. My goodness. It was so clear in this meditation. And generally, I've been feeling this in the last few years, how giving is receiving. Giving from the heart. Giving not necessarily because we want something, but because we want to give. And this is an opening to receiving the same type of openness, to receive the same type of giving. And it feels so natural, it feels so normal somehow. You know, that this is how it's supposed to be, that people that we don't know, people that we know, people that we might not have experienced the best situations with, they're not our enemies. They're just like us. They have all the potential in the world that we also have. They can change. They want to be happy exactly like we do. We can change. We have all the potential in the world and we want to be happy. We want to be free. We want to be at peace exactly like them. And we have our different stories, and our different stories make us perceive life and our circumstances and events and people in our lives in a specific way. But essentially, we're not threats to each other. We're not enemies. And you know, like I've noticed this in my life, and probably this has been the case for many people, that I've been, in a sense, regarding people as some sort of enemies, you know? And every time that I would reflect now upon the past, and every time that I would have felt like arrogant a little bit, or chins up, like being better than somebody, or, you know, trying to pretend that I'm important, but in a sense that I would show like coldness, or as I said, like maybe a little bit of superiority or disinterest, you know, or even the opposite, you know. Putting down somebody, even just verbally, you know. Within a group of people, I would talk about somebody, you know, how they are such and such. And this has all come from this perception in my mind that I've learned as a kid, as a teenager, as an adult. You know, our society is very good at teaching us that. And people are just not very conscious that that's what they're doing. And I haven't been conscious as well. So no grudges here. We just become more conscious and we just change. We just let go of stuff that is not needed, that is not really true. And it's not really who we are. But there's been this underlying factor for me and for many other people, that others are somehow holding the potential of being our enemies or threats for us, or some sort of danger, be it because they're gonna make us feel embarrassed or not enough or unworthy, or they're gonna be just better than us, and for whatever reason, you know, because there are many stories and many things that might have taught us that somebody being better than us is something bad. Can you really imagine that? Somebody being good at something, and maybe we are not that good at it, is considered some type of threat. Because of those feelings that I talked about in a previous video of mine. You can watch it. I think it's the previous video. I was talking about those infectious feelings of, you know, unworthiness, not being good enough, unlovable, you know, guilt, shame, whatever it is, fear, anger. Those infectious feelings that make us really see the world, other people essentially, through a filter, which is absolutely ludicrous, meaning it's totally untrue, first of all. And second of all, it really makes us limit ourselves from experiencing living our lives fully and truly from our hearts. And let's face it, other people are not our enemies, and they have never been our enemies. The only type of enemy that we can label as enemy is this feeling that creates enemies. But in such meditations that we do in order to change ourselves, in order to see what is happening inside, in order to change it, transform it, to transform our actions and thoughts through our meditation, through our practice as well, to observe what is going on, to nourish this which we really want, this which we really feel is true and honest and loving from our hearts, and observing, being aware of the patterns of thinking, feeling, and doing, and speaking as well, that we might carry out throughout our days unconsciously. But in our practice, in our daily lives, we pay attention to this and we change it. But I forgot where I was leading with this, but when we pay attention to that, we can actually observe that, first of all, we're not alone in that. Many people consider people as threat and as danger and as enemies, like potential enemies. But many people can give us the example that we can be open, we can be friendly, we can be brave in situations. Just go to somebody, talk to them, tell them that we thank them for their hospitality, for what they do. Just make them a compliment, but for whatever it is. Because if we look for it, we're going to find it. And once we find it, we can focus on it. And when we focus on it, our perception of the whole situation of who we are in this environment changes dramatically. And when we do not treat people as enemies, and we're not ashamed that they're going to make us feel bad or getting angry because they are such and such, we can experience our journey here in such an open way, a loving way, just going around treating people as other beings exactly like us, being curious, being interested, being really free in our expression towards them. And when we're free in our expression towards them in the moment, we are so much more ourselves, and we can be so much more of this passive service of being ourselves, and because of this, we help others. It can be many things. We can change their thinking by sharing a story. We can change their actions by being an example of something that is true and is good and is bringing happiness to others and them as well. We are so much more than we imagine that we are. We are the change. We are the change. And the world is a very good representation of who we currently are and who we want to become and who we are becoming as well. Because the more we focus on those things in ourselves that we want to change, and the more we're changing them, the more we see this change in the world around us, the more this world around us is becoming like us. The world is becoming like us. We are the world. We are the change that we want to see in the world. And I remember how Joe Dispenza talks about this in his walking meditation, Walk for the World. And I've been inspired so much by this meditation. And there's so much truth in what he says during this meditation, that we are the world, that we are the change that we want to see in the world, that our personal change is the change of the world. And what we want to see, we gotta do, we gotta be, we gotta give. And every time that we do not follow a pattern of ours that is detrimental for us and for others, that we shift our perception to something which is positive, to something which is more true, more holy, because when we feel happy for ourselves and for others, we feel whole inside. That means this is now our natural state of being, because it feels so good to be grateful, to be loving, to be joyful. It feels so natural, so harmonious, so true, so right. And the more we do that, the more we see this in the world, and essentially this world becomes that. Wow, It's so powerful. It's so powerful who we are. I'm gonna leave you with that, guys. I hope this will serve you. I hope this will be of service to others as well in your life, that you might actually reflect upon something from here that might resonate from you, and that you would carry it out in your day, in your life. It would affect other people in this very pure and positive way, with a good intention, with a powerful goodwill from our heart to change, to become this true self that we really are inside, that we are really seeking after, all of us that want to change. Love you all, guys. See you soon. If you like this video, if you want me to continue with such videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you're enjoying such content, please let me know. Thank you very much.